It's YouTube, baby. So, man, how's it going?
It's good. It's
Yeah,
good. That was a really strong start, followed by dead
I
silence.
know.
What did you do today?
Not a whole lot. I dropped off some stuff for my taxes, so that's fun.
Cool.
No, a whole lot of money.
Yeah. Yep. I
Like,
uh I went and saw a little film, a
yeah,
film in the cinema.
yeah.
We'll talk about that later though.
Oh, yeah. We already know this one's gonna be called Madam Webcast.
Yes, it is. We've been poking fun at production for way too long not to.
Dude, so did your theater have the Dune popcorn buckets?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay, because mine did, but I didn't see it in time. It's like it's a good thing because like I would have fucked that popcorn bucket while I was watching that movie because there's a lot of attractive women in that movie.
Yep. I I didn't realize how much the internet loved Sydney Sweeney.
I only did recently when the Hot Ones episode came out, and everyone was talking about her after that.
Oh, I haven't seen that episode
I've
yet.
not seen it either. I've just seen memes of it online of everyone being like, she's and like, yeah, she's really pretty. So it's like I get it, but it's like, come on, internet, act like you've seen a woman before.
Yeah. I don't know. Every year they needed a different lady to fill that spot.
It's like they need a lady that to fill that spot that look that it's like in the same mold of Margot Robbie and Jennifer Lawrence. Like they have to be white and blonde.
Man, I like Jennifer Lawrence is attractive. I don't think she's anywhere close to Margot
No,
Robbie.
no. But it's weird. There's like I think Margot Robbie's insanely pretty. I know, controversial statement.
Hot
But
take.
yeah, hot take. But there is like a whole like and you can Google it and see like there's like a whole crop of ladies out there that are like, yeah, you guys are all from the same mold. And like I never would have put some of y'all together until this meme was brought up. And I'm like, damn, that's fucking weird.
Hey, it's a good mold.
Yeah. It's like, where can we get that mold?
Oh, that's funny. Well, you want to do a Mad Lib?
Let's do it, man.
We got DC superheroes today.
Ah, cool. Like Joe Biden and the other people up, like the senators, like Ted Cruz and um, I don't know,
That took me a
AOC.
minute. That took me a minute. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is he talking about?
bunch of DC superheroes. District of Columbia.
Yes. District of Columbia Comics.
Man, Dynamite would just be so pissed off if that was a thing. Like, oh, we can't make any more AOC money.
Yes, all that money that was just being raked in. All right, a city.
Let's say Quebec.
Love Quebec.
I love ice fishing in Quebec.
Oh gosh. A plural noun.
Boobs.
A last name. Don't use one of ours either.
Yeah. Um, Johnson.
Still got presidents on your mind, little LBJ.
No, wieners.
Oh, okay. An adjective.
Oh, massive.
Adjective.
Silly.
Verb.
Oh. Come.
Another verb.
Punch. Oh, bless you, Hallie.
Oh, big sneeze. A number.
69.
Adjective.
Um, Harry.
A noun.
Uh, Cat.
Hat.
Hat. Like what? Not what it wears, but what's wearing it.
A noun.
Um, oh, saggy teats.
A noun.
Stairs.
A plural noun.
Balls.
A verb.
Run.
Man, that doesn't really work.
All right, what does?
Can go with all reliable.
um, Whacking.
I'm gonna change it a little bit.
All right.
Adjective.
Man, you just keep trying to set me up for the old reliable. I'm trying not to do that one because it makes you so fucking mad. Uh, Furious.
What was it?
Furious,
Furious.
which is what Jake would be if I said stinky.
A male first name.
Ooh, Sheila. Dude, this is 2024, bro.
Look, talk to fucking Mad Libs. That's literally the copyright.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's called Punchline.
Oh shit. Can you do this all with a southern accent?
No,
Damn.
because it's a different punchline.
Oh, okay. It's the Silver Age punchline before she had the southern accent.
The Riddler is back in Quebec and he's planning trouble. He sent us riddles as boobs to his crimes. Commissioner Johnson told Batman. The massive crime fighter studied the Riddler's list. What knows silly words but will never come? What will punch around the world but always stays in one spot? What starts with a P and ends with an E and has more than 69 letters? Batman thought for a moment and said, the answers are Harry. A dictionary contains every cat but doesn't speak. A postage saggy teats stays glued to the corner of a stairs. And the post office has many balls. That's it. The Riddler's going to jerk off the post office, Commissioner Gordon cried. But Batman said no. He plans to steal the furious postage stamp of dictionary writer Sheila Webster from the Gotham City Library, where I'll be waiting for him.
I like I like that Commissioner Gordon just showed up because it was Commissioner Johnson. So I like to think Commissioner Johnson just sitting back and he's like, "Are y'all having a fucking stroke or something? Because what the hell?"
I'm getting the fuck out of Gotham.
He's like, "Why did I accept this job?" We still need an opener, by the way.
Oh shit. Okay. Hmm.
Well, come in my diaper and call it Mashed potatoes.
Okay, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Sydney Sweeney to my internet. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Uh, you know, we're here, we're doing the podcast. We're gonna talk about our movie of the year.
So excited to talk about that movie.
I wish this one could have been our 200th episode. It
Yeah,
would have been
right?
more fitting,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Last week we should have been like, hey, if you guys message us, you can go see Madam Web with us.
We would have filled that theater.
Yep.
Okay, well, before we do that, it's trivia time. I just grabbed three random ones from the
All right.
box, so who knows if we've done them or not. All right, Casey, question one. What is the name of Thor's human love interest?
Natalie Portman, Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. At different times, Ned Leeds, Roderick Kingsley, and Jason Macendale have all assumed the mantle of what Spider-Man nemesis?
Is it Jackal?
No,
Ned Leeds. Oh no, it's Hobby.
it is the
Yeah. I
Hobgoblin.
knew that one. I'm just stupid.
True or false, Marvel's first Ghost Rider series was about an Old West cowboy hero.
It's false.
It's true,
Oh
actually.
shoot. I didn't know
Yep, he looks pretty cool.
that. Yeah.
Let's bring him up.
Bring it on up.
Oh, let's see here.
In your opinion, while you're bringing that up, the old school Westerns, who had better, Marvel or DC?
Hmm, probably Marvel.
Really? Even though DC had the old Jonah Hex?
Well, I mean, are you asking my like Jake's
Yeah, I'm
opinion? Oh,
yeah,
well then
just,
DC, then DC. But Marvel had a bigger variety
I
and
gotcha.
more characters.
Like, because I could see that. I'll also say my very small knowledge would be like DC's had more staying power because of Jonah Hex.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay, I
agree.
know that guy. Yeah, he is cool looking.
Yeah. Um, yeah, okay. Next, multiple choice. What evil organization initially created the Cosmic Cube? AIM, Hydra, Hammer Industries.
Um, I'm gonna say because I don't know, but I'm gonna say Hydra, but it might be an aim.
It is AIM.
Okay.
Also multiple choice. Alexander Lukin is the owner of what massive petroleum company in the Marvel Universe? You don't need the choices, you know this.
I mean, it's like Roxxon or whatever,
Yep,
right? It's like that one's so easy because that one sounds so close to a regular oil company that's like, yeah, that's the only one.
I know, right? And finally, how very fitting. What is the name of the blind, clairvoyant woman that occasionally aids Spider-Man with hints about future events?
Dick. I'm joking. It's Madame Web.
It is Madame Weeb.
Now, do you think it's weird? It's just something I was thinking about when I was watching the movie that like in old westerns, the lady that was running the brothel, basically the pimp, was called a madame, and she'd have all the prostitutes working for her. And then in this, it's like, Madame Web has got her three young girls with her. It's like, I don't know about this one, guys.
Yeah, I agree. An interesting premise for sure. Speaking of, man, let's just get into it.
Yeah.
All right, so Casey and I although not together. We both did
Yeah,
see Madam Web. Uh, so Casey, just a quick from 1 to 10. What do you give it?
probably like a 1.5. Like, here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this. It's it's bad, but it's also like you expect it to be bad, and there's no A-list heroes or anything like that, so it's like not as disappointing as Flash. And like I think you could have more fun with this movie than Flash. Like Flash is just bad. This was like you can laugh at this movie. Like if you and me could watch this again and be making fun of it and having a good time. Like I could be like saying really smart, clever shit like madams. You remember like in the old West, the brothels? That's so weird, and we'd be dying.
Yeah. I don't know. See, somebody else asked me that, and it's like for me, it wasn't this is funny bad. To me, it was just bad. If I were watching it with you, that would be something entirely different. But
Yeah.
if you're not watching with friends and you're like, I'm just gonna watch a dumb movie to laugh, I don't
No.
think you'll laugh at this. It's
You
just bad.
you could. Just because like and I'm blaming the director and the writing, but like Dakota Johnson, because I don't think she's a bad actress. Like I've not seen her in much, because I've not seen the 50 Shades movies, but um I don't think she's supposed to be a bad actress. And she's dog shit. Like she is clearly not trying, like
Yeah,
monotone through most of it. So it's like you could make the argument a lot of her stuff is laughably bad.
yeah. The dialogue in general is
Yeah.
atrocious.
Yeah.
I this is gonna make me sound like such an asshole, but that's okay. The bad guy, anytime he spoke, I was like giggling.
Yeah.
Because at
Dude,
times he sounded like Borat.
yeah. No, it's and like I love the beginning when they finally find the spider and then he like shoots two of them in the head and he's like, just give it to me. It's like, I don't want to hurt you. It's like, dude, you just murdered two guys in front of her. You're gonna hurt her.
Yeah. Yeah, don't pull that like, oh, I'm not gonna kill a pregnant lady, because
Yeah.
obviously you would if it came
Yeah.
down to it. Yeah, I don't know. Every time he spoke, I'm just like, holy shit, this is terrible.
Yeah.
They did not like I don't know. I guess he was gonna kill her either way, so it didn't matter. But that gal that he gets with in the beginning because she's like an intelligence agency person, I'm like, nobody's gonna talk to their one night stand like that, even if you are just using them to get an item. It's like
Right.
this is terrible.
Yeah. No, it was rough. It was like I said, I think it could be something that you could watch with a group of friends and laugh at, like and guffaw at, but watching it for your own enjoyment, it's bad. Like because I've said this before, I think a good director can take a shitty script and make it better. Just like a bad director can make a great script and make it shittier. And then like a shitty director can take a shitty script and just ruin actors' careers because that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
The I
And
the one plus though is Uncle Ben. I'll say that he was the only one that actually seemed like he was acting.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And like clearly guys, we're gonna spoil stuff, so if you don't want spoilers, look at the timestamps. But the trailer shows all of them in costume.
Yeah,
And we get that for
they
maybe 20 seconds on screen.
yeah. I mean, you see it if you're like, I really want to see them in their costume. Just watch the trailer because that's
That's all
basically
you get.
it. Yeah.
Um, and what sucks is like, I think Sydney Sweeney's costume was fucking cool.
I think all three of those girls' costumes were awesome. It was a real shame, like because those three girls were at least having like, I mean, Sydney Sweeney wasn't the best in it, but the other two were like actually had personality and were like, they seemed like they were trying, unlike, Madame Web was.
I yeah, I don't know. You could tell like especially at the very end, Dakota Johnson was done.
Yeah.
Like the final scene or two, it's just like, wow, she is checked out of this.
Hmm. And I wasn't paying super close attention to different stuff. I was just kind of like, wow, this is pretty dumb. But there was one part that got mentioned on X that I saw that I thought was pretty funny is like throughout the movie, she like thinks about, like she gets like, her visions of I think it's the letters like
Yes.
S. Yeah, okay. And then what letter lands on the bad guy to kill him?
P.
The letter P.
Yeah. I mean, S like traps him, but definitely doesn't kill
Yeah.
him. It's like, well, okay, what was the point of that? Um, so I was texting the testing room boys about it a little bit, and Alex was like, okay, well, what were there at least any like cool action scenes, or was the bad guy cool at least? And honestly, no. The action scenes aren't very good.
The funniest thing is like it's a good thing Madam Web loses her eyesight because like her best ability is her driving. And it's like if she could see the future and drive, it'd be fucking over for everybody. Because she is so, like she's got like Vin Diesel and Fast and the Furious like one like the early ones. She's got like that level of driving in this,
Yeah.
but it's all with like an old beat up taxi car or an ambulance. It's
Yep.
not like the cool souped up cars.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like, holy shit, product placement. Pepsi. I mean, it
Hmm.
was one of the worst examples of overly placed products I've ever seen in a movie. And I don't understand, like twice in the movie, they're like, this building down by the docks is packed full of explosives.
Hmm.
And it's a Pepsi factory.
That's
So
what I didn't
what's
get
going
either.
on? I don't.
Well, dude, don't you remember back in the early 2000s when Pepsi was like, we need to dabble into fireworks.
Yeah, they also didn't say fireworks. They say explosives.
I
And it's
thought they
all
I
fireworks.
I thought they did say it was fireworks.
I
I
don't I
thought
don't think
because
so, but maybe they did. Maybe
because
they
I
did.
I thought that the when the firefighter was like, "Hey, this place is full of fireworks. We can't send our guys in there. It'll explode." And
Well,
then we
maybe.
hear it again because then she sees it in real time instead of seeing it as like a future thing while she's like killing the guy because she's compressing his chest. The guy's like, I'm alive, please stop. It just
So, okay, so speaking of that, there's one scene where Madame Web has the three girls in a hotel room and teaches them all how to perform CPR. And boy, they got their moment to shine at the end when they had to perform CPR on
yeah.
Madame Web.
Like I remember when that scene happened, someone in the theater stood up fully erect and they're like, no, no, do the kiss alive too. I was asked to leave after that. I mean, they were asked to leave after that.
So what happened at the end, man?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. See, this is the type of jokes that you could say if you're seeing it with your friends and not by yourself at the
It's
movies.
true. It's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure my eyes like rolled out of my head whenever they had to give CPR in that scene. I'm just like, God, this is so stupid.
I was really hoping that like it was gonna be like after when she fell in the water, then like she gets out of the water and then it's just her waking up from when she drowned at the beginning. I was hoping that was gonna be how it ended.
That would have been crazy. I Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. There were just so many scenes where I'm thinking, God, this is just stupid.
Hmm.
This is stupid. The like in any time that those three girls were together without Madam Web. They were just doing the stupidest shit that
Yeah.
I really don't think people would do knowing full well that someone's after them to kill them.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone would also be like, oh my God, I fucking love this song. I'm at a restaurant, I'm gonna stand on the fucking table and start dancing.
And nobody says anything. No one's like, hey, get down from there. They just
Yeah.
let it happen.
Well, you know what would
And
have happened if like the waitress would have came up like, "Hey, you girls get down from there." The the one girl was like, "How about you get up here?" She's like, "You talked me into it," because that's basically how it happened.
yeah, I know, right?
I do love that like it was also they had been abducted in quotes that day, and then this random truck driver is reading the paper. He's like, "Oh, these are those abducted girls."
Yeah,
It would have made more sense if it was on TV because I mean, what are the odds that he's the same day getting a newspaper with them on the
I know.
cover?
I know. At this random ass fucking diner in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, hurry, hit the fucking printers. We gotta get him out to the
Yeah.
diner. I didn't really like any of the girls that much. They like none
No.
of them were very likable, especially Madam Web.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things where I think had they had a competent writer and a competent director, it could have been they could have made them, made them more likable, but I don't think Sony gave a shit, and I don't think the people writing it gave a shit then. And it was kind of like no fucks given throughout. And you can see with Dakota Johnson that she really didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's come out that she dumped her talent agency after doing this too. So it's
Yeah.
like, oof. You know that she was like, oh man, it's time for me to get in on this superhero stuff, and it just went as poorly as it could have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I it was just so bad in every way. I'm trying to think of like some positives, but I think the only one I've got is the costume and that Ben was like somewhat normal.
Yeah. And
That
I mean, I will say some of the car stuff was kind of fun. Like that's just
sure.
me kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like I
The
never knew Madame Web could drive like that.
I know, right? The shit, what was I gonna say? It had something to do with what you had just said prior.
With the cars,
No, before that.
um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's a forgettable movie.
It
Oh, this
is.
is this is one thing I will say, and I don't mean this. I know this is a movie that you actually do hold dear to your heart, but there's a lot of stuff that the director did that made me think, and not in a good way, of the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. There's a lot of things that, like, that's the feel that this movie has, is like that era superhero movie, like all of the bad stuff.
Yeah. I'd rather watch Daredevil.
No, same here because it's like even though that one's not good, it's still 1,000 times better than this.
Yeah. I don't, even down to like, I like mythology and stuff like that, but the mythology of the spider people, I'm just like, dude. And anytime they showed them, it was
It
like,
was
well, let's
funny.
replay the one scene we filmed of it.
Hmm.
And they did it 3 times.
Yeah, it was so funny.
We
Oh, and
got
also,
no other scene of them.
yeah, there's a question I have for you because it did not make a lick of sense to me. So there's a part when she's having her visions about the three girls and she goes to rescue them. Also, I always had this like funny like head canon. Remember when she's on, like, this is like tangent, but when she was on the train and there's that old lady with the white hair,
Yeah.
how funny would that be if that's May?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's like, Uncle Ben's like, I met this girl, and like that would then put it into the Rammy verse because it's like, yeah, that lady will be Aunt May age.
Mm.
But they're, that the dude's on the train. they can all see him. The cops can't see him, and he's just wasting cops, And like the cops are like, first off, they arrest Dakota Johnson when it's like, they really arrest the Black Spider Girl if any of them's gonna get arrested. But
Yep.
but they arrest Dakota Johnson, and then they all get killed by this bad spider guy that they can't see. Like they couldn't see him. Like, oh yeah, this guy's just murdering them, but it's clearly the white girl. It made no sense. And then later on, when he's attacking Uncle Ben and all of them, people can see him. Like it's like, oh yeah, this guy's he's visible.
Yep.
So what
I
was going on?
fuck if I know, dude. Yeah, that whole thing where they're trying to arrest Madame Web made no sense anyways. Because
Well,
she's like, hey, this lady's trying to abduct me. The cops don't do anything. They don't run up, nothing.
mhm.
And then they just leave. And then the next scene, the cops are like, get on the fucking ground. It's like, what? Where did
Well,
that
they
come
they
from?
had to get backup because Dakota Johnson's so tough looking.
I know, right?
Like I've seen how she drives. She's fucking wild.
That was just so bizarre to me. That with like no context, no description given, nothing, these cops were like, all right, let's arrest this guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
It was so stupid. Yeah, I didn't think about that not being able to see him thing. I remember while that was happening, I'm like, huh, I wonder why they can't see him. But then it never came up again.
No, never.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I don't the whole movie was full of moments like that where I'm
Yeah,
like, huh, I wonder why this is happening, and then it never gets touched on.
and then one thing I thought was just funny too was like, so she has the vision after the girls leave to go to the diner, and she has the vision that she walks to the diner. Bad guy shows up after she gets there. She fights them, and they all die. And then she's like, I'm gonna fucking drive my car. That's the and I'll run right into him. How slow was she driving? Because that guy got there before her when she, was driving, but before when she was walking and didn't know where she was going.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. It's like, okay, the girls made it seem like they were walking a while. So
Hmm.
they were like, you got us lost. You took a wrong turn. Dakota Johnson got there in the time it took Toxic by Britney Spears to play.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
Well, in all fairness, that this was 2003. That was on the radio a lot. They were on that table for about 2 hours just dancing to
Fair enough. I think that song's great.
it.
Uh, but yeah, I mean that it was stupid. Very
Hmm.
stupid.
But hey, guys, if this YouTube video gets, I don't know, 100 likes, me and Jake will watch it on Twitch. That's a thing you can do, right? And we will talk over it like a couple of silly geese just for you guys.
Well, Mystery Science Theatered it for
Yeah.
you. Oh man.
What was your rating? Because you didn't say. I was too chatty about it whenever.
Oh, for sure a one.
Yeah.
Like again, the testing room boys, they know how much or
You love Madam Web.
how strongly I feel about like uh Ragnarok and the other one. They're like, well, what was worse? Would you rather watch this or that again? And I would rather watch Madam Web because the
Hmm.
difference is like I care about Thor.
Exactly. That's the
I
same
don't
thing with
care
like
about Madam
Flash.
Web. So like
Yeah.
this was just bad. I didn't get angry watching it. I'm like, man, this just sucks.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. This is so like forgettable and bland and bad.
Yeah. It's like I was saying, it's like this movie takes place in 2003, and it's very much like a 2003 superhero movie.
But apart from Britney Spears and like one single Beyonce billboard, you wouldn't know.
Okay, so it's kind of funny because like this is all coming from Twitter, but there was the Pepsi fireworks factory actually got closed down in 2003. So this was like, oh, they're like, oh, this is a fun little New York thing, or it was like something like that. But then someone was like, wasn't there a kid with a PSP and those didn't come out until this time? And they're like, oh yeah.
There was just zero homework done.
Oh yeah. I mean, clearly, look at it. It's a Madame Web movie. They're not too
Yeah.
worried about it.
Yeah. My goodness. But we had to go see it.
Yep.
We had to.
And we will see the sequel too. If this
Yeah.
movie doesn't break $2 billion at the domestic box office, I'll take Dakota Johnson out on a date.
Oh, wow, you're really setting her up for failure, huh? But
She
so
messaged she's messaged me back. It's like it's getting close, Casey.
I have to think that after this, and isn't it this year when we get Craven?
I don't know. That one I like that one's like just dumb. It's not even funny. Like Madam Web, like why the hell are you making a Madam Web movie? With Craven, it's like why the hell? And I don't care.
True, but don't you think between these two movies, surely Sony will be like, maybe we need to stop because these aren't like Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man will always make money.
Hmm.
Like Craven and Madame Web are not going to make them any money.
I mean, it doesn't
And they're
matter to
they're
them.
talking about Silk. There's no dude,
Well,
unless we get a for
Silk
sure trailer.
Silk's a television show. We will talk about that
Oh,
when the news comes around.
I thought it was a movie.
No, it's going to be an Amazon Prime show.
Okay, well then never mind on that front. But anyway, speaking of the news, let's get into it.
Yeah. I'll
You
let
got
you
a few
do.
more than me. Or
Yeah.
do you want me to go through mine?
Yeah, just go through yours and then
All right.
I'll go through mine.
So on Valentine's Day, Marvel put out a happy Valentine's Day thing that confirmed all the members of the cast, which we knew most of them, but it is officially going to be Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Evan Moss Backrack. So yeah, the I don't know, the Valentine was whatever. Like the art was really good. I liked the logo. Um, I don't know the cast that much outside of Pedro, and I saw Vanessa Kirby in one thing. So
Yeah. I just think they kind of casted them all too old because like you need, I mean, to me, you need like this should be like something you build around. And I think Reed, you can even do younger with Reed because he's a fucking super genius and all that nonsense. But like Ben Graham should be like 30s. Reed probably 30s. Sue late 20s. Johnny should be teens. And like the actors don't have to be, but like at least playable in those areas. And then work up from there. But getting someone that's going to be, damn near 50 by the time the first movie comes out, you're not going to be able to build around that too much, in my opinion, unless he just ages like wine. Like he's like still looking good. He's like 80 years old on his third Marvel movie, and you're like, dude's looking good still.
yeah, no, I agree. I didn't love I didn't love the rumor when we heard it was Pedro to begin
Hmm.
with. So yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that they're not all younger and will do this for a while. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know if
Yeah.
Marvel's not banking on doing Fantastic Four for a while or what, but
I don't know. Part of me thinks they're just like, we need to try to hit it out of the park. And Pedro's hot right now. So they're trying, just trying to cash in on that. But
yeah.
because like, and that also kind of goes in on this because like to me, I think if you want to do the Fantastic Four, you really shouldn't do like one of their A tier villains. That's never how they did. Like you shouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's blow our load on the first movie. That's what they're doing this time. They're getting
Yep.
Galactus with Silver Surfer, and I even heard Doctor Doom's going to be in it too. I would do Doctor Doom like as a side character, Mole Man as the main baddie.
Yeah.
That
It's
makes
got to be someone
sense.
small.
Even though Mole
Because what
Man,
are they going to do next? Mole Man, right? And then it's
yeah,
like, oh, well, this doesn't.
yep.
Ugh.
And I mean, because it would have been so much better. How awesome would it be if the first movie you have Mole Man, they win the day, they're learning how all their powers and shit. they win the day, and then it ends with like the after credit scene, Silver Surfer, basically announcing Galactus is coming. That'd be dope as hell.
I agree. I don't know. It's not the first time we've seen them do something like this. So,
Yeah.
all right. And then my only other bit of news is that EC Comics is coming back through Oni Press, I think is who's doing it. Now I just lost my note here. Yeah, it is Oni Press. So, are you familiar with EC at all? They're like a lot of their stuff was pre-comics code. So a
Okay.
lot of like horror or like here's a spaceman fighting a dinosaur and a gladiator arena on Mars, just like shit like that,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so they're coming back and they've announced some of the writers and artists already. We've got Jason Aaron, Brian Azzarello, Colin Bunn, Christopher Cantwell, um, Joshua Fialkov, Matt Kint, Stephanie Phillips. And then for artists, they've announced Kano, Peter Krause, Dustin Weaver, and then covers by Lee Bermejo, Greg Smallwood, and J.H. Williams III.
That they're really bringing it, huh?
Yeah, yeah, pretty crazy lineup there. So I'm betting it's going to be a lot of horror and then just a lot of like zany, weird shit,
Mm-hmm.
but could be cool.
It could be, yeah. I mean, pretty dope line. Like I said, pretty dope lineup. So
Yeah.
shouldn't shouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So I'll start with this. Titanic Creations. They made Titanicus, and they recently were doing Gorgo. They're doing a new lineup of toys. So we're gonna get Yongary, which is like this South Korean Godzilla ripoff. Then there's Polgazari, which is a North Korean like monster that was like it's like that's that movie where I told you about where Kim Jong Il kidnapped this like famous South Korean director and his wife and had them be in the movie. That one they're doing another Titanicus and some more and a Gorgo reissue. It's pretty exciting. We don't You don't get a lot of figures of these monsters, so yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the Polgazari because I've seen that one. I've not seen the others, but they look good. Titanic Creations does pretty solid work. So if you guys are, you know, toy heads, be pretty cool. And hey, Titanic Creations, if you want to send it to me to open up on talk about it on the podcast, I'll gladly do it.
Who's your favorite of all those?
I haven't really seen any of them, and I will say Polgazari is not a good movie, but he looks cool. But it's like basically the movie's this monster that helps beat the bad guys, and then it's like it then starts eating everyone, like all of their food, all their metal and stuff, and like gets really fat and lazy, and then they have to kill it too. Like that's basically the way the movie goes, and it's not a good watch. I'll just say that. It's like, normally when you're watching a subbed movie and you're like, you can't really tell if they're bad actors because you don't speak their language. This one you
Yeah.
can tell they're very bad actors.
Well, if anything, I think that the figures look pretty neat.
Yeah. Like I said, they do some nice looking work, but you know, who's got that much money? I say in a room full of Godzilla shit. Um, so speaking of Godzilla, we got the Godzilla Kong trailer number 2. Did you watch it?
Hell yeah.
Dude, it looks so dumb. So much fun, dumb. Like, I can't wait till, you know, Legendary gets bought by Paramount, then we can do a King Kong Fast and the Furious crossover where he's like, Ben is like, you need to do this for your family, and King Kong like gets in his car and they they drive off.
Oh gosh, I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, same here, dude. Like I'm not, I'll be like, I don't even know what's going on with the Fast and the Furious shit, but boy, this is awesome. But it's so funny because like I watched one trailer for Godzilla minus one, and I was like, I want to go into this blind because and like same thing with Shin Ultraman and Shin Kamen Rider. I was like, I want to go in this blind. This one, I don't care. You can tell me shot for shot what happens, and it's I'm still gonna enjoy it because it's just so dumb,
Absolutely.
just like Madam Web.
This one will be, I think, a little bit better. Something tells me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Just I'm gonna use my Madam Web powers. This movie's gonna be good.
Hell yeah.
Also, guys, if you saw Madam Web, let us know down below what you think of it, and let us know down below what you think of the Fantastic Four casting and this new old Godzilla Kong. Okay, and then we also got the X-Men 97 trailer. Did you see this?
Yep.
What'd you think?
Looks fine.
Yeah, I'll say this, the one thing I don't like, I don't think the animation's worth a shit, which is like it's keeping up tradition of the X-Men 97, but I don't like it.
Yeah. That show, there's nothing wrong with liking it. I also like that show. But you're fooling yourself if you're saying it's not purely nostalgia.
hmm And okay, did you watch all of it? Because I don't remember like the last season.
I I mean, I've never like sat down and done a start to finish watch.
Okay, I
Anything
thought
I've seen would have been from when we were kids.
okay, because I was gonna ask you because this is like people are outraged because Morph is in this and they are now non-binary and people are like X-Men's gone woke and it's like gone, but I I I remember Morph being killed in the first episode and then they're like psych he is alive, but now they're just pretending to be an actor. And then like yeah, so I didn't know if they came back to the X-Men or something, and
I
I
have
don't
no
remember
idea. I
because
have
I'm
no
just like
idea.
I don't remember this. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I want to ask you though, do you think this new X-Men is too woke, or are people that ask if the X-Men are woke or just plain stupid?
I think we know the answer to that.
Yeah.
The thing that tickled me is I saw a side by side comparison of that famous Rogue's fat ass shot from the original and then what she looks like in the new one. People are like, "Come on, they took away your dump truck ass."
I saw one. I'll probably see it again because like I saw about 10 times on Twitter, but they took that same picture, but instead they switched spots. So it's Apocalypse laying down with the rogue
Yep.
ass and then the new rogue standing there.
I a lot of artists were doing like a challenge for it where they were putting anybody in that position and I
Yeah,
thought it was hilarious.
that is so funny. Okay, and then we're getting a new Godzilla comic in June by Louis June. It's Godzilla versus Varan versus Australian skaters.
Like what kind of skaters are we talking?
Look like skateboarders. So,
Here's my question, Casey, since you're the expert.
yeah,
Is Godzilla strong enough to crush a couple of skateboarders from Australia?
I'm gonna say, yeah, the Australian skateboarders. Now, if it was like, some crocodile hunters from Australia, it might be a different story.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, since we were just talking about how much, the greatness of the Sony Spider-Verse, Nicholas Cage is in talks to play Spider-Man Noir in the upcoming Spider-Man Noir series or movie or whatever. So that's cool. Like,
I genuinely do think that is cool.
yeah, I mean, that has like this is what you need to be doing from the start. Instead of being like, let's make movies about Rhino and Craven and fucking Bad Bunny's weird wrestling character that he wants to do, and Madam Web and Morbius and fucking
Venom.
Venom. I well, Venom. I
Venom could
get
work,
Venom.
does
I
work.
get. Yeah, but instead of doing all of that, let's do alternate versions of Spider-Man. Like that's so much better.
Yep.
Everyone agrees that that's just smarter. Like the
I,
only
w-
thing
I
that,
would want I want Spider Punk. Give
yeah,
me punk rock music and Spider-Man. I'm
yeah,
ready for it.
be dope as hell. Or hell, this one just seems like it'd be easy money. Just give us a damn Spider-Gwen movie.
Hmm.
Like easy money.
Yeah, at least mine. I'm throwing money
Yeah.
at it.
And then there's gonna be the Silk Amazon show, which we kind of mentioned briefly. The entire writing room, except for the showrunner, has been fired because they're like, we need to overhaul this whole thing and focus on a male audience. So we're gonna be getting the dance slot pheromones.
So I saw this, and the article had taken some artwork of Silk and just given her gigantic tits. And it's like, I can't tell if this is like an Onion type of article or if they're being for realsies with
Yeah,
this.
it's
But
gonna be something.
it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna watch
I'm
it.
for sure gonna watch it. I'm not gonna say I'll probably end up being, like this is terrible, but I'm hopeful that, I mean, it's Twitter where everyone's freaking out, so it's like, yeah, that's kind of what you do. So,
Yeah. But also you and I I think at the same time became Silk fans.
yeah, it was just like we both were just like, let's pick up this Silk book that's out unbeknownst to each other. Or I mean, you knew I was reading it since you're the one that slings my books. But but we just both like, let's read it. And then we're like,
Casey, I
oh,
didn't know that you were
yeah.
reading this. I
Yeah.
packed the box.
But
But
yeah, and it
yeah.
was like who was the first writer that we read? Because it wasn't the Robbie Thompson, but people are saying he was the one that actually kind of got it right. And then it was
Let me look it
that
up.
one writer that we both really like that did the Iron Fist book too. I'm blank on her name.
The first one was Maureen Gu,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then after that, Emily Kim,
Okay.
and then
Both
yeah,
are
Kim did this last one as well.
both are very good, but I hear the Robbie Thompson one was supposed to be very good also.
Yeah, I he did two series. Um, again, stupid. In 2015 they did the same shit they're doing today, where Robbie Thompson
Hmm.
did 7 issues, and they're like, let's reboot it, and then he did 19 more issues. It's like,
Yeah.
just make it one fucking series.
Yeah, right.
I I don't know. I need to see if maybe they've done like a Silk by Robbie Thompson trade paperback, and if that's the
Hmm.
case, I need to get that for us both so we can check out his
Yeah.
stuff too.
But that's the news, guys. What did you read this week, buddy?
All right. I've got Green Lantern 8, Wesley Dodds Sandman 5, Vengeance of the Moon Knight 2, Blade 8, Bloodborne Bleak Dominion 4, Witcher Wild Animals number 4, Batman and Robin 6, and Spider-Gwen Smash number 3.
Ooh, no Transformers this week, huh?
No Transformers this week.
All right. So I got Batman 143. I Hate Fairyland number 11. Night Thrasher number 1. Wolverine Sabretooth War Part 3 and issue 43. Transformers issue 5. Wesley Dodds The Sandman number 5. Blade number 8. Green Lantern number 8. Batman and Robin number 6.
All right. Would you like to go first?
Sounds good, man. So, Batman, The Joker, Year One, Part Two. This is by Chip Zdarsky, and they decided not to put the artist names up front, so I'm gonna have to stretch for time. We got Giuseppe Camicoli and Andrea Sorrentino on the art, and it's
Some
good.
good art.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like good art, neat story. It's one of those stories that like I'd enjoy a lot more if it was just an Elseworlds story. Like that's what it boils down to. It's like I don't need to know how Joker became so skilled and then all this extra stuff, you know. It's not important to me like it is with like Batman and stuff. And even then, I don't think we need it that much. Um, but yeah, it's a good story. Zdarsky does do a good job of like kind of juggling the stuff that came before. So like Batman Year One, because like it's more of a sequel to that with like a lot of the Joker stuff, you know, like that's where it picks up with like the past stuff, but then the future stuff, it's its own thing. But it's good. Like I said last time it came out, it was like, yeah, there's two different, you know, ways to grade it. Just like my own personal opinion, like I don't think it's necessary and it doesn't, but it's still good quality. And then like just looking at it as like its own separate thing, I'm gonna go probably 9. And for my own, you know, annoyed that we're getting a Joker origin story again, I'll probably go 6.5 because it's like we don't need it.
Yeah.
But it's good. It is good quality. It's just kind of like I'm left going, what's the point?
That's why I didn't pick it up, man. I was like,
Yeah,
I'll check out the next arc, and then I saw that it was this Joker thing. I'm like, nope, never mind.
yeah.
All right, I will talk about Vengeance of the Moon Knight, #2. It's written by Jed McKay with art by Alessandro Cappuccio, and this whole issue is about Tigra, Tigra.
I always say Tigra. Some people say
Okay,
Tigra though.
I think I usually say Tigra too. It just sounded weird in my head.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was cool. I liked it. It was a Tigra centric issue. Um, she's just talking to the therapist about how she doesn't think that this is like a resurrected Mark Spector. And it kind of showcases the Midnight Mission's first fight with this new Moon Knight. And he's got some new powers, which are pretty damn cool. He can, like, within a certain radius, make it totally like dark. Like, no, but not even Tigra with her cat eyes could see through it. Um, probably because it's, I would assume, some sort of magic. But anyway, it was cool. I really like this book still. It's a very strong start. And gosh, I think it's probably my pick of the week this week. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
Nice. All right, so I hate Fairyland 11. Oh, I don't care about you, Microsoft Bing. Get out of here. But I hate Fairyland number 11 by Scotty Young and Brett Bean on the art. This is kind of annoying. Like, first issue we get in a while, and it's just like the same joke over and over again. Claudia is in the real world and she gets hit by a car, and then it cuts to Fairyland and Gert finds out Claudia's dead. And then it's like, nope, turns out she got resuscitated. And then the ambulance crashes that she's in, and then they're like, oh, she's dead again. But she then gets struck by lightning and it rejuvenates her heart. Ah, she's alive again. And then she gets hit by an airplane that's driven by a Taylor Swift knockoff. And then it's like, ah, this time she's dead for real. But she's not. And that's how it ends. It's just like, that was the whole issue. Same joke over and over again.
Sounds pretty cool.
I mean, it was not my cup of tea at all. So I'm gonna like the art's good. As like if you like that art, you'll like this, like like the art in this, but the story just like it did not hit for me at all. So I'm going for
Oh,
solidly on the art.
All right. Spider-Gwen Smash number 3 by Melissa Flores and Enid Balam on the art. I liked it. Pretty much just comes down to this universe's Bruce Banner is who is making like Rick Jones into a Hulk or whatever, and he doesn't remember what he does while he's Hulk. And it's because he's like super obsessed with Dazzler and just, I don't know, wants to experiment on her because he likes to experiment on superpowered people, or maybe give people powers. We're not super clear on that yet. But by the end of this issue, he also kidnaps Mary Jane and turns her into Carnage. Um, but yeah, I like this book. The only thing that I don't like about Spider-Gwen stuff is Mary Jane. She's just a bitch, like all the time. And she's never once likable in
Yeah.
any Spider-Gwen comic I've read.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's just a me thing or what, but I do not get it.
Yeah.
But I like everyone else in it, and the art is pretty cool. Um, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5. And also the little David Nakayama cover for the next issue is super rad.
Hmm.
So I'm interested in what that fight's gonna be like.
Let us know down below. Do you like Mary Jane and Spider-Gwen? Or do you think she is just a big old jerk? All right, but Night Thrasher by Jay Holtman or Holtham, depending on how you want to say it, and Nelson Daniel. This is like it's weird because like early on in my comic book stuff, my brother had New Warriors, and so like a lot like I was young enough that I wasn't really reading them, but I was just looking at them, and so like I remember a lot of these characters, but I don't remember much about them. So it's like it's kind of cool seeing them here. And there's a lot of like memorabilia, like, oh, I remember this guy, remember this girl, that type of thing. But like, I don't know anything about them. But it's cool. Night Thrasher does some cool stuff in this. And then at the end, we get a big reveal of Rage, which we haven't seen him in a good while. And yeah, it's cool. I like it. I'm interested in seeing where it goes with these characters. So I think Night Thrasher looks cool as all hell. Like 90s, but I like that aesthetic. So I'm gonna go 7.
So uh Trad Moore did a variant.
Yeah.
And you know my feelings on
Yeah.
Trad's art.
It's more miss than hit for me too.
And I was just like, boy, that does not make me want to pick up this book.
Yeah.
Not that I would have anyway, because I never read Night Thrasher, but yeah.
Night Thrasher is what I have sometimes when I eat too much pizza before bed. I just thrash away.
Thrasher toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. The Witcher Wild Animals number 4 by Bartosz Stybor and Natalia Rerekina. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Um, this was the final issue of this mini series, and I didn't care for it. I didn't like how it wrapped up at all. This didn't feel like a Geralt story very much at all. And by the end, he doesn't really save the day. And then he just kind of walks off into the sunset, and it's like the end. I was very
Yeah.
disappointed because I liked the other issues.
Yeah.
But I just feel like even though Stybor writes all of these miniseries, it's more hit than miss. But I feel like maybe every third one is a big miss, and this is one of those. So
Wasn't the last one, the ending kind of sucked? Like you were like there for the ride for the other two, then you got the ending, and you're like, oh, this is kind of a letdown.
yeah, I don't know. He just I guess he just doesn't know how to
Yeah.
end the miniseries. which endings are hard. I get it. But this, I don't know, just like have Geralt kill some stuff or something at least, you
Hmm.
know? Um, but it's whatever. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Right on. All right. So Wolverine, issue 43, Sabretooth War, part 3. This is by Victor Laval and Benjamin Percy with Jeff Shaw on the art. And this one's fine. It's more of a filler issue than like the last one. The last two were just fucking balls to the wall bonkers, and this one it's like, ah, we're setting stuff up. And that's, there's nothing really to complain about there, but they beat people up. And I realized, I mean, I didn't know this, but they kind of said some stuff about X-23 or Laura, that she's not actually a Wolverine clone. So it's like I didn't know that. I always thought she was a clone, but to make it sound like she
Yeah.
might actually be a regular daughter. But
Of Wolverine?
yeah, so I don't know how that works. So I kind of need to do some Wikipedia research. But then
Huh.
we're getting like that. You remember that Sabretooth and the Exiles that came
Yeah.
out that I thought was like Exiles, but then it turns out it's not Exiles. It's a different different Exiles team. They show up in this, and they're gonna try to kill Sabretooth, and Sabretooth, is like doing some crazy stuff with Kid Omega's head. And yeah, it's interesting. And like I said, just kind of it's kind of a filler issue that just does like a little bit of plot stuff where that we weren't getting since the other two issues were just like ripping people apart and murdering them. So yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's going like an 8 out of 10. It's not quite what I want from this series.
Yeah. Okay, Bloodborne, The Bleak Dominion, #4. It's written by Colin Bunn with art by Peter Kowalski. Again, did not like this. It did not wrap up well at all. Um, the art's never super strong on this book, but that on top of not liking the ending just really brought this entire issue down. Huge bummer. Um, this one's gonna get a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. So Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson. He's doing the art and the writing. Yeah, it's takes like the art in this is awesome. It's still like Transformers. I'm just not the biggest Transformers guy. Like there's some cool stuff that happens, but nothing that makes me go like, oh man, if this was anyone else doing the art, I would not be reading it, but the art's so good. It's pretty cool. I'm just here for it. Um, like like hell, look at this last page. You get this as the big bad reveal. Like that's cool as hell looking.
Yeah, it is.
But I just don't really care that much about the Transformers, so I'm gonna go 7, maybe 6.5 out of 10 because it's just like it's not grabbing me story wise. It's just awesome stuff going on.
I just have our mutuals.
Same here. What order do you want to do them
Uh, let's go Green Lantern, Blade, Sandman, Batman, and Robin.
Sounds good. This Green Lantern cover just makes me laugh.
You like it or don't like it?
I don't like Kyle looks like he's got the Joker serum, like the Joker laugh stuff going on. Green Lantern looks like he's very, like you just said, like his costume looks stupid and he's very upset about it. Kilowog just
I think
does
Kilowog looks cool.
he the his little things where it's normally those are like supposed to be like tusks look like kind of like my parents dog like their uh boxer's jowls where like you could flick it like that's how like it looks like we could just kind of flick his little little tusks and then just kind of flop around. So yeah,
All
I'm just
right.
that doesn't do it for me.
Well, this is Green Lantern #8. It's written by Jeremy Adams and Aman K. Noel Pan did the art. Um, Thought it was a good issue. Actually, I think the art's pretty fucking rad in this, but what'd you
Yeah,
think, man?
the art's good. Seeing Madame Xanadu's good. That the little Hope guy that they got here, though, it's like, boy, why is he such a douchebag? Like, makes zero sense that he is just this much of a douchebag for no reason.
Yeah,
And, like I'm interested in seeing where it goes, but I just really did not like that character. Like it was just he was, I thought, written so poorly for supposed to be a beacon of hope.
sure. Xanadu looks great though.
Yep. And then the backup story is by Ron Mars and Dale Eaglesham doing the art, and I liked it. I don't know how he made real coffee though. That was one thing. I need to I'll twix that to Ron Mars and ask him how. But because like even because if you notice, even after like the construct of the coffee cup is gone, coffee is still there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's pretty cool. We're gonna get some Joe stuff with Kyle next time, so that's pretty cool.
And they tease Jessica Cruz coming back.
Yeah, so that's, she's a favorite of the show. So, yeah, I mean, it's a solid issue.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Yeah, I was feeling about 8.5. And now, next up, it is Blade, the world's greatest comic, which is a bit braggadocious and a kind of over the top, in my opinion. But it's by Brian Hill and Elena Casagrande on the art. What'd you think, dude?
I dig it, man. I
Yeah,
dig it. It's cool.
yeah. I
Um,
wouldn't say it's the world's greatest comic, but it's good.
yeah, I agree. Art is solid as always.
Mm-hmm.
Satana, looks great.
Yep. Figured that was gonna be hitting some of your buttons.
uh,
But yeah, I mean, I think the art's better in this than it had been the last. Like, this is better than what it had been the last couple, in my
mhm.
opinion, because we had some wonky spots before. But like, and then the collector dude looks awesome, and then the one guy that we met the first issue is back, and I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm interested in seeing where it goes for sure.
Me too. I'm just glad that it's still going and that we
Yeah,
still like it.
yeah. Even though it's weird that like the bad guy won, that still boggles my mind. The bad guy won. Now they're just not doing anything. It's like,
Mhm.
if they win, everything's gonna be destroyed. And it's like, no, a lot's changed.
She's just hanging out.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
All right.
So where are you at with it?
Oh, yeah, probably like an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah,
I don't have much bad to say about it. It's just
yeah,
not gonna knock your socks off.
I'm about at an 8 too. I think it'd be rated higher if Batman and Robin wasn't so good this week. I'll say that.
Hmm.
But but yeah.
All right, next we got Wesley Dodd's Sandman #5, written by Robert Venditti with art by Riley Rossmo. You know, I've liked all the issues, man. I like this one too.
Yep. Riley does a good job. Like with a lot of times with this book, especially, it's like it seems like Riley's more allowed to do weird shit with layouts and stuff. It's just better. And you get that a lot in this one. Like for those that, even though you're probably not watching it directly, like the layout of this panel, and then it cuts to the next one. They have blam blam, and then it's like that. Like that's creative stuff that you get, and it just adds to this story where this story probably wouldn't be as cool if it wasn't, taking that extra step of creativity.
Hmm.
And yeah, and like one thing that's kind of nice is like since I haven't read Sam and Mysteries Theater, yet. Even I have it, I just haven't had time to read it yet. Like I wasn't sure if the big reveal, the big bad guy, if that like I was like I had suspect of him, but I was also like he might be in the regular book and he might be like a standard character that he just is around. So I don't really know for sure, like if that guy could be it or not. And then it's like, oh no, you're it. He really is it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like see, like for you, that's probably not as big of a reveal because you're like, yeah, I've read all of this. I know this guy doesn't ever appear again.
Right. Yeah, but that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. It doesn't have to blow me away, but it's still neat for you. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is Riley's strongest work. I really like it.
I I'm not gonna say it's his strongest because he had better in like some one of the earlier issues where like he was doing big splash pages of like
Oh,
this.
I just mean this
Oh,
series
okay.
is his strongest
I can
work.
see that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's gone hard, like he's been allowed to go really hard on some of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at though?
Easy 9.
Yep, same here, dude. We're kind of matching a bit too much with this. And then Batman and Robin by Joshua Williamson and Nicholas Sizmizja on the art. And I love the art in this. What'd you think?
Same. Like I said, it's same artist as the Azrael book, so I'm all about it. Um, Story's pretty neat too.
Yeah, I
A lot
liked
of
it a
good
good bit.
character moments. Um, it's nice to see Bruce and Damian be people and not just angsty, broody boys.
Hmm.
So it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's neat that we're getting to see Batman try to be a dad, which is, kind of different. I like that. And like the first half, it's like a Zaz related story, which for me personally, I don't give like two shits about Zaz. Like at all. Like the only time like that character can work is when he's just killing people and Batman's trying to catch him. Like him going toe to toe with Batman, that's not gonna work. Like that's not interesting. And like I'm glad it wasn't the whole issue that we got the second, the second part of like actual,
Well,
interesting stuff. And
he even admits he can't go toe to
yeah,
toe with
yeah,
Batman.
because it's like I don't know, Zaz is just to me such a lame character. But yeah, I mean, I like this a lot. I'm really just all in on this ride. So I'm probably at I'll say a personal 9.5. That'll be my pick of the week.
Yeah, I'm at a 9. Excited for the flat line at the end.
Yeah.
Glad to see her back. It's good stuff.
Yeah, man. What are you excited about in the coming weeks?
Let's see here. I'll go with they're really cranking out Batman, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Daredevil, Incredible Hulk. Hmm. There's a lot out this week, but not necessarily for me.
Not necessarily very good.
And we'll say Green Lantern. I don't know.
All right. So I'll say Six Fingers, Cobra Commander, and Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Right on.
Okay, so the NBA All-Star game was, or the All-Star weekend was this weekend. So give me four characters that would be like your All-Stars for the comic book industry, like, for the past, let's just say from here to last year that you'd be like, yeah, these are my four All-Stars. And I'll give you my four All-Stars and we'll make a team and decide and we'll both decide on the starting lineup.
Well, what exactly do you mean? Like books that we've read that we liked, or
No, just characters. So we'll make it character based.
okay, well, my number one starter, it's Sportsmaster.
They're not playing a game. It's
I thought that's what you wanted.
no, no, no. I'm just saying like four characters that are like that have had like really strong showings in the past year that you'd be like, yeah, this would be my starter if like we were making an all-star team of. the comic characters that have come out.
Fine.
Be like,
Not
okay,
Sports Master.
Sportsmaster. His limited series was so good.
Um, I'm gonna go with the Birds of Prey.
Okay.
I know that's a lot to choose from,
Yeah.
as well as let's see. I'll try to keep it balanced between Marvel and DC. Hulk. I always seem to love Hulk when it comes out. Um, maybe not necessarily this series, but I'm gonna throw in Geralt of Rivia. And hmm, just to be silly, I'm gonna go with uh the deer guy from Deer Editor.
All right, so for me, I'm gonna say Superman because he had like the Action Comics were, were just was awesome. Superman was awesome. Superman Lost, awesome. World's Finest, awesome. So, and then Batman's in every book, and I'll say 60% of them at the very least are awesome. So Superman, Batman, um, and then I'll try to get a couple Marvel boys in. Trying to think, what are some Marvel books that? Oh, Wolverine and I'll go Wolverine Ghost Rider, or no, Wolverine She-Hulk. Get a lady up in there, just like the regular All-Star game had. But
Right on.
who do you think would be in our starting five? We have to add take out I think Superman, Batman for sure starting lineup material.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Superman is gonna be the overall number one for us, I think.
Yeah,
I think She-Hulk can make that.
yeah, because we both love her.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw in Cassandra Cain because she was in both Batgirls, which we really liked, and she's also in
Hmm.
Birds of Prey, which has been stellar. So there's four. Hmm.
Now, who was your Marvel choice? Because you had one from Marvel and you had
Hulk.
Geralt. Hulk, Hulk could be in there.
Yeah,
Or
Hulk could be
start,
in there. You don't love it as much as me, but you still like it. So
yeah. I mean, and I mean, like it's growing on me. I'll say that.
yeah. So there we go. Couple
Yeah,
of Hulks, Batman, Superman, and a Batgirl.
there we
Solid
go.
team.
Man, you're not scoring on that deep and interior
No,
defense.
no, you're not.
Let us know who your guys' yearly all stars are.
Yeah.
What books you're loving or characters you're loving.
All right. That brings us to the end of the episode. All right, closing plugs. Head on over to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on X at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com and head on over to the YouTube channel. We're Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe.
And remember, Dakota Johnson, I know you're listening. That movie doesn't reach 2 billion. Just tweet at us and we'll set up our date. Ugh.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'd love to stay in chat, but I have to go whack it over Casey. So we'll catch you next time. See ya.
It's usually how it goes after the podcast. Bye guys.